Fight man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV. Woo!
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, man. I don't really know which video this be. I got two to do. I got one about Leonard B. Let's do the top rank video. Bob Arum says Teofimo Lopez may not get Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez winner. He says he wants the winner to fight Terence Crawford. I don't know, expeditiously or down the line, but let's talk about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Excuse me. And it seemed like a lot of people are happy, like the dude who wrote the article on Boxing, was it Boxing News 24? Was it, yeah, Boxing News 24? They're happy that this man is struggling. And that's one of the biggest reasons. Sean Jones wrote it on Boxing Scene. That's one of the biggest reasons where we are in boxing. You legit got people that call themselves boxing fans, boxing writers, boxing editors, boxing vloggers, boxing media, hoping that the guy don't get a fight. How can we move forward and make the sport great again and get fights on premium television like Sugar Ray Leonard made $10 million on regular television or just on regular television? And we got a large group of fans of people misconstrued at the LDBC and whatever else groups out there. You know, they the only ones that stop and fight. They were created because there were other nationalities that were doing the same thing. You know, and that were blaming black fighters and had an issue with black fighters. That's what happened. That's pretty much what happened. It wasn't that those brothers were scared to stand on their own. It was a simple reason that everybody ganging up on the brother. So let's not jail together, come together and do something great. Which, you know, black people ain't really master doing something great, but that's true. If everything was kosher and it was an even playing field, and really where it was created at was the Pacquiao and Floyd thing. If everything was equal and clean, we wouldn't be here. It's a fact. We wouldn't be at this point. And they get a bad rap. But they're not the only person. You got people saying, why should Canelo fight Jamal Charlo? He ain't did this, he ain't did that. Just like they say, well, Terence Crawford did none of that welterweight. So neither did Floyd Mayweather. He came up and got a shot. You know what I'm saying? What did he do at 40 to deserve a shot? He fought old boy in Miami and nobody came. I think it was the Puerto Rican cat. Oh, what has he done? What has he done? Why? If he ain't done, then let's make the fight and see. You know, and they doing that across the board. Oh, you know, what did Rocky Fielding do to deserve a fight with Canelo? Callum Smith. What did Sean Porter do but lose to deserve a fight with Errol Spence? Oh, he on the wrong street. You don't deserve a fight. I get that. If we just gonna say, oh, you not on the right network, come on, let's take one sanction belt body and put it on PBC. Another one, let's put it on the Zone. Another one, let's put it on Top Rank. And another one, let's give it to Kathy Duval or something, or give it to Triller. I'm fine with that. I'm legit fine with doing that. I'm a legit fine. If you don't want Errol Spence to cross the street or meet somebody in the middle of the street or Canelo Alvarez, let's just stay on one network. And when it's convenient, we can trade Terence Crawford to PBC, you know, and Bob can get paid off of that. We could trade Jamal over to the Zone, and we can be happy with that. Honestly, I'm happy with the Bellator, UFC in one structure. I was happy with WBCW. ECW and WWF, they turned it down. I'm happy with that. If the fans demanded something so bad, Rob Van Dam came over to WWE. It might have been after they fell apart, but still, if Dana White don't have something for Mighty Mouse, whatever it was, he sent it to one. He got knocked out. Look. If we're not gonna be rational in boxing, if we're not gonna be like the fans that came before us, or when I was a fan, and we're not gonna push for big fights, we're not gonna galvanize for big fights. If we to the point where we don't want to see big fights, we don't want to see crossover matchups, let's just do the structure like that. The WBA can go with Al, WBO can go with Bob, the WBC can go with Oscar, you know, and the other one, the IBF can go to Eddie Hearn. I'm fine with that structure. Therefore, we're not talking unless Crawford get traded or Spence we're no longer talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep everything in-house. Unless Bob and Eddie Hearn want to join forces and do their thing and Triller, then cool. It's to the point where people are rooting for this man not to get a fight. For what? And then when he does it, the fight, he fit 40 years old. Oh, he was rushed up. He was a bum. Come on. That's not fair to him. And little do guys like Sean Jones know about, it's not fair to him. And it's just to the point where we at where we don't want to see the best. You know, we just going to protect Errol Spence because he don't want to fight. That's kind of where you lost me at boxing at. Oh, it doesn't look good for him. Why not put the pressure on the guys to fight him? We got a network trying to diminish a belt. Okay. They have history with that belt. They paid Peter Quillen to drop that belt. You know, it is what it is. Oh, Kyle Velasquez dropped. So does Abdul to drop Floyd. If he not that good, let's see y'all beat him. Let's see y'all beat him, bro. Except for these punk ass writers talking, diminishing what he did. But nobody want to talk about how Errol Spence was one knockdown away from losing to Sean Porter, and Sean Porter just proved that Errol Spence wasn't no more level than Keith Thurman was. He wasn't on no level that Kell Brook was in his prime. Why can't Al make it happen? Why can't Al make a counter offer to Terence Crawford, and we can see where Crawford at? If Crawford do the same as Keith and Errol, if he do more of what Kell Brook did, then we know there is a separation. But we're not even allowed to see him because we know him and Errol not gonna fight. We're not even allowed to see him versus the this generation's welterweight barometer. So we can't even see him versus the barometer, Sean Porter. We can't see him versus the barometer. Somebody that's active, somebody that fought everybody. We can't even see him versus the barometer because they want a lot of money, and he's not worth it. We can't even see him versus the barometer. Guys are not sacrificing anymore for belts. And I like to see him versus Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez winner. But damn, can they let their balls breathe? Damn, can they let they self breathe? Can we let them get a tune up and defend their belts and go up and get a tune up and then we see it? Do we really want to rush them when in the division you got Sean Porter, Jamal James, Rashidi Ellis? Look, I make that call to Virgil Ortiz. Come get your ass whooped. That's what it is. Sean Porter says no more such thing as exercising mandatory clause. Okay. Manager Crawford said that. Oh, there's no such thing as a mandatory clauses. Come on. Simple fact. Sean Porter want to fight, but his team don't. And I'm not talking about Kenny. Instead of everybody, you be like, oh, Earl, man, we don't want to see Ugas. Don't buy that Ugas shit. Don't buy it. If you buy Ugas, you buy an Ugas fight, you part of the problem. You bought anything in boxing, if it ain't, premier fights that you want to see, you the problem. You the problem. You the problem, man. And to the point, Bob said, so we're looking around for a big fight for him with spectators sometime in the fall this year. So, it is what it is. If I'm Crawford, I would think about retiring too. I think about retiring. Because it's ridiculous, dude. You want to fight the best, and the best don't want to fight you. And it ain't to the point. It ain't even to that. It's not even that's what's frustrating because that's been happening in boxing for maybe even from the beginning. The problem is now the fans are rationalizing that. Now the fans are saying, now the fans are in on the act. You got people like Financial. I like where boxing is, in place. No, you don't. If you do, you stupid. You a fanboy. And these dudes, man, other than Blood and 7-8 and Tom, I ain't seen none. I ain't heard from none of these dudes out here. T Street and a few other people. A lot of these dudes popping up talking about boxing, got their camera turned the wrong way and got an opinion. Don't empower these people that don't know shit to have an opinion. That's just to the point where he needs to do this. Like, who are you? What qualifications as a fighter, as an official, as a judge, even as a fan, what qualifications do you got to say, he need to do this? What have you done? How many hours you put in watching the sport? How many hours you put in doing the sport? How much training you did? How much coach you did? Who are these people to say he need to do? Who are they? Some people that just started watching boxing a couple years ago. I've been watching boxing since I came out the womb. Through the 90s, through Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, to James Toney, Roy Jones, Michael Nunn, the Klitschko's, Lennox Lewis. I've been watching boxing since the birth. Boxing and basketball is what I watch. I know boxing. Most of these people can't even tell you what divisions Chavez Sr. and Duran fought in, or where Floyd started off at. People don't remember when Floyd was, people talking about Roy Jones. Like, how can you doubt Roy Jones Jr.? Come on. Roy Jones would put Floyd dick in the dirt at any point, any time in their active career. Anytime. You talking about the greatest pound for pound fighters that ruled over at one time? Come on. Roy Jones is my favorite. He may be the greatest pound for pound fighter. That's anything under heavyweight. He may be the greatest pound for pound. You look at the Durans, the Chavez, the Haglers, the Hearns, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Sugar Ray Robinsons. And I think Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest fighter of all time. Him and Roy Jones would be a spectacle. That would be a spectacle because they both athletic. I think Sugar Ray Robinson punch harder at middleweight, but that'd be a great fight. Carlos Monzon, Marvin Hagler in there, Bernard Hopkins, James Toney. Could you imagine that middleweight division? Could you imagine them dudes in a tournament? Hagler, Roy Jones, Monzon, James Toney. Man, that would be a spectacle. But move on. They said Teofimo Lopez won't get Ramirez and Taylor winner. Interesting, Arum has already ruled out 3-belt champion Teofimo Lopez take over. Lopez option to face Ramirez and Taylor. If he wins the fight with George Camposo and we get through Jack Catterall, it might be really attractive fight for the winner of Teofimo Lopez to fight Teofimo Lopez. So he really ain't committing to that. Maybe why didn't they have Teofimo Lopez come back after June? He fight Camboso. Was it the 19th? They moved it. Why don't they have him come back and fight Catterall? Even though he can be the mandatory. Why he just don't come fight Catterall? What's so special about? I just don't understand. And he ain't got to drop all the belts, and he keep the belt just in case. Why can't he move up and fight Jack Catterall? Catterall ain't did nothing but beat Jorge Davis. Come on, he have nobody. Why can't they just make T.O. and Catterall? We ain't even got to be talking about T.O. and George Camboso, which is a mismatch. We could be talking about T.O. and Catterall. Why he just can't move up and fight Catterall and fight the winner? But boxing, they make it complicated, bro. They make boxing more complicated, and it's easy peasy lemon squeeze. It's not hard. He want to defend undisputed, cool. Let's line up him and Catterall after that. But Catterall got to win his title shot. Let Catterall get his title shot. That should come. That should be a quick turnaround. Catterall and Taylor Ramirez should be fighting in September, October. Top of the year, they should be coming in fighting Teofimo Lopez. But they got a dilemma. Do we give Taylor Ramirez to Terence Crawford, or do we give him to Teofimo Lopez? My honest opinion, you probably, what good does it do if Taylor Ramirez knock off Lopez? What good? Now you lost a player in Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. What good does it do if they go in there and get knocked out? Same thing. Crawford, it might be a little bit more notoriety for Crawford. Fight them, but I think let T.O. You look at 140, Zepeda and Regis Prograis and Postal is really only competition. Let them go in there, get a couple belts, do it all over again. Let Taylor and Ramirez go fight Crawford, but unless you're willing to do Teofimo Lopez and unless you're willing to do Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford. And I heard, I can't really say the source I heard it from, but it's a good source. It's a former pro fighter. They said Teofimo Lopez is gunning from Crawford, so why not let Teofimo Lopez, before his contract run out, fight Taylor Ramirez and then turn around and fight turn around and fight Terence Crawford, why not? But if you're talking about just keeping your roster intact, you know, then the smart thing to do is Taylor Ramirez, move up, fight Crawford, let Lopez sell into 40, and then, you know, on and on. But hold on. But it is what it is, man. Bob Arum don't be knowing what they know what he's doing, but we'll see. We'll see. We just at a point where boxing is really in a dark place. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got a business question, card, sponsorship, video request. All our social media links, description. Fastest way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. All the links, description. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313. That is in the description. PayPal link is in the description as well. Best way to donate is share the video. One time for the one time. Peace.